Few matchups in the history of college football have had games and more specifically endings etched into the memory banks, etched into the lore of the sport more than the Iron Bowl. From the kick six to the grave digger, you just hear those words. Emotions, frustrations stirred up that last a whole year. And in a rivalry game like this one, we can only hope for another classic like those. As we'll see the number 9 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on another SEC rival, the Auburn Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Auburn will kick it off to get things started. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Crimson Tide offense takes the field to start things off. Last year's Iron Bowl is pretty much what we've come to expect when it's in Tuscaloosa, as scripted as it was a year ago. The drama you tend to find when they play in Jordan-Hare, but there's no mistaking the intensity no matter where these two get together.
Yeah, and Auburn didn't play their best, but this rivalry always provides fun. Like, there's some way, somehow, it shouldn't happen. Where it's played has always mattered. It seems like it will swing the pendulum a little bit, but a lot of hate in the Iron Bowl. The state of Alabama, you're either on one side or the other, and it's usually not friendly. This will be a fun game to watch.
I feel like this is the rivalry game that consistently provides the most drama at the end of every season. That's why it's so much fun to watch. Last year when these guys played, Peyton Thorne threw for over 300 yards, but it wasn't close to enough. They need more balance. They can't turn the football over if they're going to get this win over their hated in-state rival.
Grab near the marker. It's Bernard. Coming through that third down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Snagged in the middle. It's Bernard.
Well, this guy's not easy to bring down. They just throw him a simple hitch pass, but he's got so many moves out in the open field. You've got to get a lot of hats to the football to get that guy down, prevent him from scoring on big plays.
Grab near the marker. It's Bernard. Tackled at the 45 after the 5-yard play. It's enough for the first down. New set of downs after the completion. Off-play action on first down. Rush is on him. And he'll skip his way out of bounds after a short gain, making sure he doesn't take any unnecessary punishment. These two rivals first played in 1893, but there was nearly a half-century, guys, when they didn't play each other because they got in a fight over, among other things, gate receipts.
Yeah, listen, I've been lucky enough to broadcast this game before, and I'll never forget being at Bryant-Denny Stadium and just feeling the energy. It was just completely different versus anything I'd ever seen in college football before. David, there's a different meaning to this game for both of these schools in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, and it's just different because I think being in the state, like, fans are around each other all year long. Players are around each other all year long. You know, the Iron Bowl is a civil war of hate between each other all year long, and they get to settle it on a big stage every year.
Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. So they go back to work after the break, and it is third down. Wants to throw. It's Simpson. Fires to the wideout. Catch in the middle. It's Horton. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. Pass completion moves the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Leaves it with the running back.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. From the gun, he leads it with the back. Not much room. A pickup of 2 down to the 28. Oh, this crowd wants it. They want to roll Toomer's corner, but right now they want to stop on third down. Pocket breaking down. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
And the defense there goes zone coverage, maybe confused the quarterback a little bit, forced him to hold on to the football, and that allowed the pass rush to get home.
They'll play it safe and send out the field goal unit. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. And he's going to have to get into this football. This is a 53-yard attempt. And he missed it. No good. Kicker couldn't quite get it through, and the scoreboard remains the same. So the Auburn Tigers offense will get the ball for the first time. And they're going to have to contend with a secondary that is one of the best in the nation, Jesse.
And they're a complete secondary, too. When you watch them on film, they're very good defending the pass in coverage, and they can play man and zone. But I like them, David, because they're not afraid to put their face in the fan. Everybody in the back end likes to tackle and likes to be physical. That's what makes them special.
Yeah, and it's just an elite group in the back end. Multiple guys that win their individual matchups, which makes it hard to run offense. And this is a group that, yes, they tackle well, they see the football well, they break on it well.
Breaks free! All out of space! And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tigers!
And how nice is it to have a playmaker like that I can get the ball out of my hands, right to him, and say, all right, dude, you got jets, you can fly, catch the slant, make some people miss, outrun some angles, and get all the way to the end zone.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Coming out with it, it's Adams. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Here comes that Alabama offense. They're looking for something, looking for anything to try to put some kind of score on the board, down 7-0. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
Across the 30, out of bounds at the 31-yard line, and they've kick-started this drive with that one. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls.
Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on 2nd down. A run for the quarterback. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
The defense really gets it. They understand what's going on. The quarterback is a threat to run the football. I have to understand that. It changes the way I play defense. Am I going to have more speed on the field? Whatever I do, I got to make sure I do what they did right there. Focus in on the QB, lock in, and make sure he doesn't beat me.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Fellows, in a rivalry filled with magical moments, even more here today between the Tigers and Tide. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed, he simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double-team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Alabama and Auburn plays out.
All right, Kevin, about ready to get things cranked back up here. Ready to start the second half. Alabama will kick it off. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So here comes the Auburn offense. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Little touch pass to the receiver. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Motion from the wideout. Looking for space. It's Cobb. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Singleton. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And that's a great job by this defense, limiting the yards after catch. We know guys are going to get the football in their hands, and he gets the ball out quick, gets it to him. Nice job running to the football. When you chase the football, man, a lot of good things happen. That ball pops out, you recover it, a forced turnover.
The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They haven't really been able to light up this scoreboard, but putting points up would be huge here. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
They'll start this one from the 29 on first down. The run from the shotgun. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried.
There he goes! That's a line ball. The offense very fortunate to get that ball back.
Well, the offense is able to avoid disaster right there. Problem is they fumbled it, but thankfully they were able to jump back on and not have a turnover.
Looking for a man. It's Simpson. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. A score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
Extra point here will tie the game. And the extra point was good. No incident there, and we are tied up in the third. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. Off the play fake on first down. He's got an open man. Turns it on in midfield. Wide spaces. He's a touchdown, Auburn. And that one will put him up here in the second half.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. That's the end of the quarter, and Auburn has the lead. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway. He'll bring it out. It's Adams. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. They go to the ground. Good vision and determination there to find his way up to the 23.
We love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Slithers into space. It's a running room. They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Simpson. There's the pressure. Makes the catch. It's Miller. Knocked out of bounds at the 46 after the good pickup on that one.
And quarterbacks love running backs who can catch the ball because they're stat patterns. That's an easy throw for this quarterback to make. He's just letting his running back do all the work. Get him the football out in space and let the magic happen.
Knocked down behind the line. Boy, he powered through one tackler, but there were more there to greet him. The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Got it behind the line. It's Young. How about the blow he delivered in banging his way to the 41? Sometimes it's not about a fancy play design. It's about just getting him the ball and letting him play.
Especially nowadays with running backs being so good out of the backfield. You know they're going to catch it, and there's so many ways to use them, but exactly. Get it to him, let him break tackles, let him make plays. Easy decision.
Big 3rd down as the crowd gets behind this defense. From the gun, wants to pass. Here's a heat. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And now with that play, for this offense, it's got to have it time. Yeah, I'm going for it on 4th down. Obviously, a field goal does nothing, but I got 3 timeouts, and that is a good thing. Because I have those in my pocket, I can attack the whole field. I just got to focus in on the yardage to get this 4th down and move the sticks.
And that decision will be questioned for a while. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. These are the games. These are the moments. This is the opportunity for the finish that people remember in rivalries like this one.
And those highlights that are shown for years and years to come. These big-time moments, Palmer, coming down to the wire, who steps up and makes the big-time play.
And this is why you lift the weights in the offseason. This is why you do all the gassers and all the sprints. For moments like this, game on the line in one of the biggest games of the year.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
And this situation here on 2nd down is the exact situation this offense wanted to stay out of. You got the lead late in the ball game. You want to get positive yards, keep that clock ticking. Now in a situation, it's interesting. Do they want to throw the football? How much do they trust their quarterback not to make a mistake here late in the football game with the lead?
Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. The Tigers line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Bunch formation for these receivers. Back to throw, it's Simpson. Hauls it in. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Just not quite able to make the connection. It's incomplete.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right there. He's not putting his team in a bad spot, and that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
Wants to go up top on 1st down. And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete.
And this offense has been a struggle bus. I mean, just call it like it is, guys. It hasn't been good, especially the passing game. And I'll tell you what, QB's played better games before. And I'm interested to watch. Can he stay positive? Can he finish this game off on a good note?
Got a man. It's Williams. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. Looking downfield on 1st down. Throws to the tight end. Got his man downfield. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29. He spikes it. Clock stops as they try to rally late. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to pass, and he's got to make a play. And he makes the catch, but he can't stay in bounds. That'll be incomplete.
And this is a tough spot now to be in for this offense because it's 3rd and long. The defense knows you have to pass the football, so they're going to be playing conservative. So what's your play you can dial up? Maybe get half of this back. Like, I know the clock is ticking, but...
And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama!
What a massive play by this offense. Man, you needed it. Great execution. Now kick the extra point, tie this football game up late, or do you go for 2? Do you go for the win? Do you try to take the lead? That is a you decision.
They just need the extra point to deadlock this game. And the extra point was good, and we are all tied up in the 4th. They put together an 81-yard drive, so the kickoff team will come out after they turn in a score on that last drive. Fielded in the end zone. It's Cobb. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. Oh, they're after him. Throws to the wideout. That is just a sideline clinic. Throw, catch, toe drag, everything you want.
Now, I know that completion isn't a touchdown. It's not a deep play deep down the field, but how about the strong hands by that receiver making that catch? He made that look pretty routine. He had that DB draped.
Holds it in down the sideline. The offense will use a timeout with 25 seconds left.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
And it's intercepted. Oh, what a big play in a tie game. Looking for more room. Touchdown tie. interception, but the great return for the score.
It's the one thing the head coach challenges his team with, guys. Late in games in the fourth quarter, tie ball game. Who's going to step up and make a play? That guy did right there. Picking it off, taking it to the house.
They'll try to add another to their lead. The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10, and the returner goes down. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. They'll start this drive going to the air. That's caught. It's Alston. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. They get the timeout called with 7 seconds left on the clock. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. Under fire. That will be the final play as the clock strikes 0 here. The latest edition of this in-state passion play is bathed in crimson as Alabama rolls to victory over Auburn in the Iron Bowl. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. They say every game counts the same in the standings, and that is true, but there are some games that no matter what the coaches say, they just mean a little more, and they hurt a little more if you lose.
They do, and that's a fact, and every player will tell you that. There are some games that are highlighted before the season that this game matters more, and it's not that the other ones don't matter. It's just that the hate runs so deep for some of these rivalries and some of these kids that grew up across the street from each other that went to different schools, Jesse. You can feel it.
David, you're absolutely right. And I wonder, because it was a rivalry game, did the losing team get a little overhyped? It just looked like they were pressing too much in this football game. They made too many uncharacteristic mistakes, and as a result,